Hi, thank you very much. You can join me, Sam and Mila, Avishai, Amnon, Racheli, and Shmulik. So in the first question, can you time them 90 seconds each? It will help us. Yeah, is it possible? Okay, not yet, but in a while. So, hi everybody. Hi again. As you already heard, Israel has about 9,000 tech companies, 12,000 health-oriented companies, and 500 and even more wellness-specific tech companies. Why are there so many successful entrepreneurs and startups in this small country? To answer this question, we'll hear today some quick insights, quick guys, and perspectives from exceptional panel of founders and leaders from the country, from Israel. Let me introduce Sam. Sam Marco, VP Food Technology, Amir Protein. Sam will show you how Amir will fix our food system one protein at a time. Next panelist is Mila. Mila, raise your hand. VP Research at Antidote Health. Antidote provides healthcare services to 80 million Americans that are uninsured and underinsured, and they have already developed the first virtual HMO in the US. Avishai Ben Tovim, co-founder and CEO of MDI, is creating a world in which complex medication regimens are no longer a major threat to human health. Ziv Perelman, co-founder and CEO of Xroads, is leading a revolution in human-machine interface and has invented the first ever smart skin to measure and analyze electrophysiological signals anytime and anywhere. Last but not least, Samuel Carrot, co-founder and CEO of Hedonia, created a mobile platform that employs gamified therapeutic technology based on recently established cognitive neuroscience research through the use of games to treat mental disorders. Amnon.
You want me to say that?
Amnon, do you want to say that?
Yeah, hi.
Go for it.
Yeah, sure. My name is Amir Bar-Lev. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Alike. Alike is the largest patient similarity network. It's a platform that allows people anonymously to connect with others that are going through the same health journey, support each other, and learn from each other.
Okay, Amnon, so you can be the first one.
Okay.
In 90 seconds, what drew you to become a wellness tech founder, and which problems do your company solve?
Thank you. So, and I think that will lead to the whole innovation part. I think one of the things that we really like here are challenges and complex problems. If you look at our election from yesterday, you know that that's what we do. So, I think wellness and healthcare is a dramatically more complex problem than any other tech problem you might think about. Human body and human mind is much more complicated. So I think that's the things that drive me personally, just the challenge itself. And as I said before, Alike, the whole nation of Alike is the ability from us, where we are going from the same route, all of us, to find the one that are really similar to us, going to the same journey, health journey and wellness journey, support each other mentally. We saw a couple of examples there before. It's important to know that you are not alone, that somebody been there already, and support other people with advice. We all been through the same things, and in a way to fix the whole social network for healthcare environment and build the right Facebook for healthcare in a way.
Thank you very much. Sam.
So we at Amai, we say that let the food be your medicine. So we know that sometimes overconsumption of food creates a lot of problem, and one of the major problems is overconsumption of sugar. By finding a way to reduce the amount of sugar consumption, but still giving a good sensation of indulgence to the consumer, will try to really give a well-being for our next generation on that.
You're very quick.
I'm trying to be as agile as possible.
Mila.
Thank you. So we believe that every human being has a right for good quality healthcare and affordable healthcare and approachable healthcare. As we all understand that healthcare is a basic human right. So this is our vision and this is our journey to make the healthcare affordable for about 40 million Americans that are uninsured or underinsured. And obviously that what drives me and the rest of my colleagues in the company to be part of this journey. Thank you.
Samuel, you have also a great story.
Hi, so I have the same problem. Hedonia is my 5th startup that I'm involved from day one, so it's over, I will not say how many years. And I did many kind of things, and the last startup, I hope that some of you are familiar with, is a company called Waze. And then I got the experience of really helping people and not doing healthcare, but still having the impact of people. And after I left, I started wondering what I'm gonna do, and then accidentally, I came across an amazing professor from, a neuroscience professor from Harvard that came with an amazing research that he did about the treatment of depression in a very new approach. I fell in love with the person, I fell in love with the approach, and I fell in love with the healthcare space, which I knew nothing before, and I love new areas. And so we're doing today a new cognitive treatment that works like medication. We're starting clinical trial next week in Mass General in Boston. So it's really, really exciting, and it's something fun about doing something in this space that everyone you meet wish you that you will succeed, which is really, really great. Thank you.
And actually, we met while we were walking our dogs, and Samuel said, okay, we have to talk in a month, in 2 months. I have something in my mind. Ziv.
Hi. I did my PhD in the field of cognitive neuroscience. I studied consciousness, very applicative field. Once I completed my PhD, I understood that I would like to move to something that could actually change. So I moved to the field of medical. And I was focused on the field of brain to learn what we can do with our brain pattern, how we can improve our health and well-being. I met my co-founder, Professor Yael Hanin from Tel Aviv University, a world expert in the field of human-machine interface, and I told her that all the equipment that's available today to measure the brain in our body are very not comfortable, are complex. It took her 5 years, but once she brought a solution, we both understand that there is something huge that we can do with her solution. She developed a unique smart skin. It's a skin patch that we can attach to our body and can measure our physiology exactly like we measure in the clinic today. So basically today, in the clinic, there are more than 100 applications that use this kind of technology, and she brought a deep technology that can measure it, not in the clinic, but at home. So this is our journey, how we bring all this information and all these tools into our own home and our own bed. And I will expand about sleep later on.
I'll give you some extra time. And what drew you to become a founder?
For us, it's a real journey because we feel that there is huge potential of technology here, and we just need to craft in order to make it available for others to use it. So it's a real journey to start this as a founder and to find a way to craft this technology and actually to pave how you take such innovative technology into a different environment. So we are in this journey. We have an amazing team, and we are really feel excited about this opportunity to lead this journey.
Thank you. Avishai.
So like many here in the panel, I didn't come from health as well.
I was managing large operations for global high-tech companies for many years, e-commerce, fintech, you name it. But I was always about making impact, and for a while, I just didn't feel that what I was doing enough, just making money for other people. So I'm actually a good friend of mine is married to my partner today, Dr. Dorit Nachlieli. And besides the fact she's the former head and founder of the Pharmacovigilance Department of the Ministry of Health, she's also was the founder and manager of the clinical pharmacy services for the second largest HMO in the world. But the interesting part was that she was also at a clinic that provided consultations for complex polypharmacy patients. And she really had patients going to a clinic, and she had amazing impact on their life, like a patient going to a clinic on a wheelchair, and after 3 months he was walking. And I was like, what? There's no way. And I was just amazed that medications can create any side effect you can imagine, and how impactful they are on chronic patients. And I was also amazed by the success rate she was having. So I was trying to convince her that what she was doing in her head as a clinical pharmacist can be computed. And I'm happy to say at the beginning she said it's impossible. These days she would tell it's impossible to do it without our technology. So what we do as a company, we actually took a huge problem, which I don't know if you know it, is considered to be the 4th leading cause of death in the United States, medication-related problems. And we were able to take from the other end something that already been proven to be super effective in reducing these medication-related problems, and bridge with technology to generate this important value at scale. So that's what we did in the area, and this is why we started the company.
Okay, thank you. So as you can see, there are some great talent here on one stage. And I'm curious, Amnon, maybe you can start. What do you think makes the Israeli ecosystem so unique? What's the magic sauce, in your opinion?
Very good question. It's a DNA of the people here. I think we try to create reality, not to live by reality. If I'm looking on other countries, there are places where the process wins. For us, is in the initiation of things. I would say that if I'm looking at my grandfather, he came from Germany during the Holocaust, and he was the first entrepreneur in Israel. He got nothing, and he built the country, which is quite amazing. And I think there's 2 things that somehow describe us. One, the fact that as a country, in a way, we are lack of resource. We don't have oil. Recently we have some gas, but until now, what we have is swamp, not enough water, no any natural resource. And I think the fact that you don't have enough resource or lack of resource makes you much better. So that's the first thing I would say that characterizes us and makes a difference. And the second thing that Shimon Peres used to say, what characterizes the Jewish people, and he said they are unsatisfied. So, and I fully into that. I think we are always unsatisfied and we want to make things better. And just this notion of we're gonna make it, and then together with this Israeli chutzpah of let's make things happen, I think that's what makes things happen.
Samuel, what do you think?
I would say that the first thing, as an answer, no is not a good answer for us. If somebody says to us no, well, something must be wrong. We must find how we can do it. A lot of challenges that we are coming and breaking our head against the wall, we'll try the window. And if the window is closed, we'll try another window. If we don't know, so I'll speak with you because I don't know you, but you seem to me that you know some people that can help me. So that's the connection also. We talk a lot with each other. I think the society we live in Israel, as an immigrant society, makes us speak with each other a lot. I think that you see it also better in the second and third generation, that my children already have friends from all over the country. Well, I had friends only from my small town that I was. So it is really the upbringing, and I totally agree that we are not satisfied. If we have a solution, we can have a better one. If it's only one solution, let's try to have another one. And again, a lot of communication which is with each other, and not being afraid to approach people that usually you say, well, maybe they don't want to speak with us, but the President of the United States will also answer the phone sometimes.
Thank you. And the other Samuel.
Yeah, I think
From now on, you're Sam, okay?
Sam, easy. I think that it's also an issue of perception regarding entrepreneurs, and do you look for a job for 20 years in the same place with nice salary and stability? And this is like the vision of how a good professional life should look like, or entrepreneurs starting new stuff, small groups, taking some risk. And I think that in Israel, being an entrepreneur, working in a startup, taking risks is something that, since I remember, is something that was appreciated. Nobody pushed me for a 25 years career in one place. Actually, I was pushed to try and innovate. And I think it's not only from my house, but from the environment, which is something that is very, very strong here in Israel.
Mila?
Yeah, so I can relate to what both of you said. I really feel that the community and the people in Israel are very innovative and very thinking outside of the box and very communicative, as you said. Me, myself, being an immigrant in Israel, I have two perspectives of people, how people communicate outside of Israel and how people communicate within Israel. And the fact that we have many, many groups in Israel, which sometimes causes troubles, internal issues within our society, but in the end, in the more innovative way, it actually contributes to the fact that there are many people that come from different backgrounds, different origins, and different perspectives, and learn how to collaborate and communicate. And as Amnon said, the fact that we need to invent ourselves and invent new things in order to succeed, that's what I think, from my perspective, helps Israel to be basically a startup nation. One more thing that I wanted to mention about that is no.
We'll get back at it. Ziv, can you share with us?
Yeah, I would also add the ecosystem. We have a very strong ecosystem that supports innovation. There are all kinds of accelerators and grants and opportunities and network meeting, and I think such an ecosystem, and let's admit it, we are a small company. So we know many people from this network, from all kinds of disciplinary fields. So I think the supporting ecosystem and the strong networks give us the ability, like I said before, to get almost to anyone, and also to get ideas and input and feedback from different parts of the ecosystem. And especially when we talk about health, because there is high connection with academia and the clinic and the hospitals, there is a very close community here that give a very good support for innovative in our field.
Avishai, anything to add?
Yeah, so I won't repeat all the chutzpah and getting no and all the rest. I'm just going to add one thing. So I think there's also a part to Israeli becoming a very big company, a very big country for developing startups is also the army service. I think that, again, there is the intelligence unit that generates a lot of cyber startups and others, but I think at least for me, in my personal experience, this service enabled me to really think there's nothing that is really impossible. I really did the things that, looking back at it, it still looks impossible. And I think this notion of being able to do the impossible, it's really important, especially in health, that you're getting no. And I can think of several points in our journey that if I was listening, there's no way I'll be sitting here today. So even from the beginning, for example, we said, until you have a clinical study, there's no way you're going to raise money. So that's just one of the examples I can think of. So definitely the ability to think you can do whatever else is telling you no, I think this is very important in becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay, thank you. Let's do the 90 seconds again, please. Amnon, now a specific question for each one. Amnon, your story is very, very unique. You were the president of the largest cybersecurity company in Israel, Check Point. You then left, learned medicine for about 2 years, if I'm not wrong, and only then decided to co-found a like health please give us, tell us the story
Yeah.
behind it.
So yes, true. I manage a multi-billion-dollar company called Checkpoint, and I have about 4,000 people that I manage. And then at a certain point in time, after 13 years, I decided to reinvent myself. And I went back to university, to the medical faculty here in Tel Aviv as a student. I was the only one with white hair, but I did all my duties, I have to admit. And the reason why I did this journey is because once I decided that that's what I want to do, the only way is to understand the language. There is a full things that you need to understand, and I have to tell you a secret, don't tell it to anybody else. High tech, it's very easy. To write code is like being a carpenter. You can design a table and you just make this code. Healthcare is way, way, way much complicated. The amount of variables are so different that the challenge is so huge. So that's the reason why I went through that journey. While going back to seeking for technology, and I think that's one of the things that we'll see more and more in Israel. How can we take things from technology that we learn in other areas and bring them back to wellness and healthcare? So I decided to do that on social network and on patient similarity and machine learning and clusters and stuff like that. But I think we're going to see more and more of that. And the last thing I want to say is the rewards of doing good is something you cannot get in any other industry. The fact that I open my app every morning and I see people that were under stress and somebody else helped them, and I felt, hey, I just gave them the platform to do so, and it could be in healthcare and wellness and could be in other places. It's such a unique reward that makes us much better.
Thank you. Sam?
Well, my career as a food engineer started in an...
But I have a question before.
But I have already...
But you already answered.
You have an answer. You're Israeli.
I have already the answer. That doesn't matter what you are.
Can you share what's innovative about amai compared to any other sugar substitute, and in what way is it sustainable?
So you replaced the question.
I did.
So what we are doing in Amai, and a lot of you came through our booth and tasted our products. One of the challenges that we have, as I said, is the overconsumption of sugar. Dr. Ilan Samish found out that we could produce high potency sweetness protein that acts very good in food systems. This enables really to reduce dramatically the sugar consumption that we have in our food, but still having the same taste, or at least a good taste, that will get the consumer to taste again. Because a lot of time we taste a new product, and this is the last time that we'll take it, because it might be healthy, it might be beneficial. It's not tasty. If it's not tasty, it won't work, even if it has all its ability. So the way that we are doing it by it's not a unique, but I would say a more sophisticated fermentation process, taking out the protein from a brewing chamber and then putting it and implementing it into our food systems creates a lot of innovation, and I would say a lot of interest that we are creating in the industry now.
Okay, thank you. Mila, can you share Antidot's vision? It's a big vision, and in what way are you changing the game of healthcare?
Yeah, so as previously mentioned, we are building a virtual HMO. So basically, as you know, in the States, the provider and the payer, basically the insurance, is two different entities, which causes the healthcare costs to be very high. And there is a bigger portion of people in the States that cannot even afford continuous and affordable and good quality healthcare. So what we are doing is actually one of the things that we discussed in the previous question was what is good about the Israeli ecosystem, and I think one of the things that is good is that we can also think outside the box and take models that work well in Israel and think how we can implement them in other places or other countries that have similar problem. So what we're doing is taking the model where the payer and the provider are the same entity. So we basically are the health managers of our patients. By that, we are reducing the cost of healthcare, and we are enabling people that are underinsured or are insured to be able to even consume healthcare. And we're taking it to even one level up. We are doing it digitally with AI models, so we can also help track their health and alert them if there is some deterioration or anything that requires physician attention. So this is how we're changing the health, the game of healthcare.
Samuel, you mentioned you were among the leading team in Waze. Worked for Google, had a comfortable life. At some point you decided to start over and do something with good values and do good. Well, tell us what made you do that?
So first in ways we did good, I think. I know surprisingly we think that we got people to the right direction. Apparently we saved a lot of marriages because that's what I heard from all over the world. And doing things with the impact was critical. And when I left Waze and I decided that I'm not yet ready for a pension and I want to do something else, as I mentioned before, I met this Professor Moshe Bar from Harvard, and he told me about this new approach of a new cognitive treatment for depression, which I was amazed with and started my due diligence to understand more. And then the fact that we are doing things that, even before COVID, was a huge problem all over the world, all genders, all ages, and with COVID actually getting much worse. It was an amazing reason to start something new, to find a new approach, complementary to our treatment for depression. And the biggest challenge that we have, okay, we have a new approach, but we are dealing with a very lethargic audience. And as Sam said about tasty, if the treatment is not tasty, even if it's not food, nobody will use it. And we thought, how can we make the treatment tasty to this audience? And we came with the idea of how, if we can embed the treatment into casual games that will look like a game, and feel like a game, but will be a treatment, this could be something really, really new and disruptive, and this is what we are doing.
Great. Ziv, you mentioned smart skin. You have a very interesting IP with lots of use cases. Can you tell us why you decided to start with sleep monitoring?
I believe that sleep is a hidden window for understanding our health. And I will follow Amnon and share with you two secrets. One, sleep relevant for each one of us. Second, almost 30 to 40% of the world population suffer from sleep disorders. And these sleep disorders have tremendous effects on our health and well-being. It's also highly correlated with all kinds of disease, cardiovascular disease, cancer, cognition decrease, and so on. And we understand that sleep is important. And there are several tools to understand sleep, but they are still limited. If we try to understand sleep and all the aspects of sleep, include our brain activity and other physiology aspects, we still need to go to a sleep clinic. Use this rigid electrode with gel, shave our body, sleep in someone else's bed. And we understand that we need to shift these kind of tools. So with our smart skin, we can provide a tool that you can get to your own home and to measure sleep on your own bed.
Thank you, Ziv. And Avishai, you mentioned innovation and care lie at the core of your business. Can you tell us how? And Nancy is already here, so you have a minute.
Okay, so I mentioned before that medication-related problems is the fourth leading cause of death in the United States, and I'm sure some of you thought, well, I have a great physician, a very experienced one, I'm good, or my parents are good, but Unfortunately, currently the approach of physicians, as good as they are, is really one-fits-all approach. And they don't have all the data on the drugs and the patient. They don't have the time to really take everything into account and also monitor the patient over time. So our vision at MDI, and this is how we take technology into care, is to make care personalized. There is no reason people should suffer from their medications. This is just ridiculous. There's no reason. So as I said before, our vision, or my vision for the future, that I will go to my physician and the physician will do the diagnosis, but the MDI system will be there to make sure I'm getting the most personalized and optimized medication for me. So I can be really assured that it's more, any drug has a risk, don't get me wrong, but I want to make sure that the value is more than the risk I'm taking in my next pill. So that's how we do it.
Thank you. Let's thank our panelists, and I'm running away.